if you find yourself feeling overpowered and unsteady in the presence of other people. Stay here for a moment. Take a slow breath and arrive here. You do not need to analyze anything. Let the words land where they land. Your body will take what it needs. And begin. I feel overwhelmed and unsafe around other people. It feels like their energy, their words, or their presence overpowers me. And I lose my sense of self. I do not feel grounded in what I think or feel about myself. So I get confused, disoriented, and unsure of what is true. It feels like I have no solid ground inside me to stand on. And that makes me feel scared and exposed. Like I can be affected or taken over by others easily. I do not know how to hold myself in their presence. And that makes social situations feel threatening and destabilizing. I recognize that all of these are experiences arising within my awareness. They are sensations, thoughts, and feelings passing through me. They are not solid truths about who I really am. Even though I feel completely overwhelmed and unsafe around others. And it feels like their presence erases my sense of self. I acknowledge this deep fear is a passing pattern arising in my awareness. Not my permanent self. I feel so small when someone else walks into the room. I do not know where I end and they begin. My thoughts get fuzzy and I cannot hold on to my own opinion. It is scary to feel so easily influenced by the people around me. I feel like a balloon that someone else can just push around. Notice how this feels in your body right now. I am terrified that I will completely disappear if someone is too loud or too close. I do not have any walls up to protect me. Everyone else seems so solid, and I am just a cloud of confusion. I cannot trust my own mind when someone disagrees with me. Breathe into the heaviness in your chest. Maybe their energy is stronger than mine, and I will be taken over forever. I feel so alone inside myself, like no one is home to steer the ship. I am watching myself get lost, and I do not know how to call myself back. Let the body soften a little. It feels like I am made of jelly, and everyone else is made of stone. I want to have an opinion, but it slips away as soon as someone speaks. I am scared that if I let my guard down, I will absorb all their stress and pain. Notice how this feels in your body right now. I thought I was getting better at this, but here I am, feeling erased again. It is so confusing to not know what I actually feel. Maybe there is a part of me watching this happen, a quiet witness. I feel completely exposed, like I'm standing naked in a crowd. I just want to feel like a real person with my own solid ground. Breathe into the heaviness and just let it be there. Even this intense fear is just a feeling passing through my awareness. I am here with this overwhelming feeling, and I am not running from it. I can stay present as this feeling of exposure moves through me. My awareness remains steady even as these sensations rise and fall. Underlying beliefs. Perhaps I believe that myself is not strong enough to exist next to another person. I might hold a deep belief that other people's energy is inherently more powerful than my own. It is possible I believe I am fundamentally fragile and easily broken by the world. I may have learned that it is not safe to have my own thoughts or feelings. There could be a belief that I am responsible for managing everyone else's emotional state. Perhaps I believe that to be accepted, I must dissolve and merge with others. I might be carrying a core belief that I am invisible or unimportant. It is conceivable that I believe my own truth is less valid than what others think. I could be operating from an old pattern that says my safety depends on disappearing. These beliefs are echoes from past experiences, patterns that were learned. And they are not the truth of who I am. I might have adopted the protective role of the chameleon, always changing to match the environment to stay safe. But this outdated strategy is being outgrown rather than fixed. Adult self, gently turn toward your inner child. I am sorry to my inner child who had to experience the world as a threatening place, where you had to shrink to survive. I am sorry you felt so alone and unheld, with no solid ground to stand on. It was never your fault that you felt confused and overpowered. You were just trying to stay safe. Your awareness was always safe, even when your feelings were overwhelming. And I am here now as the stable observer who will not leave you. Inner child speaks. Is it true that you are here now and you will not disappear? Maybe I do not have to fight so hard to hold on to myself. Adult speaks. I give you permission to heal from the fear of being overpowered. I release any guilt and shame you carry for feeling lost and invisible. I honor our journey together through all of this confusion. I love you. You are safe to let go and just be yourself. Because I am here now and always to protect you. And all the feelings you carry are just passing experiences, not the reality of who you are. Now that we have felt and honored the experience, allow understanding and light to arise naturally. Message from Higher Self. Your inherent worth was never diminished by the presence of another person. The feeling of being overpowered was an illusion born of a misunderstanding. That you were separate and fragile. But the truth is you are vast and whole. Your capability is not measured by how well you hold your ground against others, but by your ability to simply be aware of the experience. Personal growth is not about building thicker walls, but about realizing you were always the open, unshakable sky, in which all clouds of fear and confusion pass. The old belief that you could be taken over is dissolving. Because you are remembering, you are the awareness that contains all things. Untouched and free. Thoughts, fears, and emotional reactions are only temporary appearances in the vast space of your consciousness. And the true self is always whole and present. The ask, inner child. I give myself permission to feel the space between me and another person. Just as a sensation in my body, without needing to do anything about it. I allow myself to feel a tiny pulse of my own energy, right here in my chest while others are near. Adult self. I am here, grounded in my body. And I can stay present while a new, unfamiliar sense of steadiness tries to take root. I choose to simply observe what happens when I do not immediately try to hold myself together. Staying connected to my breath and my feet on the floor. Higher self. I allow this new experience of safety to unfold in its own time. Through the body and in life, without needing to understand or control how it looks. I release all outcome, letting awareness remain stable as new sensations of ease and presence arise and pass naturally. Bridge into your new reality. Before, their presence would erase my thoughts. But now, in this moment, I can feel my own breath moving beneath the sound of their voice. It used to feel like I had no ground to stand on. Yet here I am, noticing my feet firmly planted, while a sense of calm begins to ripple through my legs. Earlier, I would have panicked at the feeling of being exposed. But now I am simply aware of the air on my skin. And that awareness feels steady and safe. Reclaim your power. I release the disempowering belief that I am fragile and can be overpowered, embracing the learning that my awareness has always remained intact. From the place of the observer, I see that the self witnessing this entire process is untouched, capable, and whole. And from this space, I choose to engage with life fully. Seeing it done, I imagine myself feeling a quiet, steady warmth in my chest. As I walk into a room where other people are gathered, I see myself now standing among them. Not as a solid statue, but as a living presence. My breath flowing easily, my thoughts clear and my own. A gentle sense of myself humming beneath the surface of every interaction. In this parallel reality, I am not fighting to exist. I am simply here, and my presence is natural and unremarkable. I am safe here, grounded and whole. And the witness within me simply observes this new way of being with quiet satisfaction. My inner child is breathing easily, feeling the simple pleasure of being seen without disappearing. There is a softness in my belly, a release. As I realize I can hold my own space without any effort at all. I notice a feeling of curiosity about others, rather than fear. And it feels as ordinary as breathing. This way of relating to experience is just a natural, safe, and non-dramatic part of being alive. Now experience a new future. I am standing at the edge of a social gathering. And instead of that familiar lurch in my stomach, I notice my feet pressing firmly into the ground. I take a slow breath and feel the air fill my lungs completely. A quiet expansion happening all on its own. I see a person approaching and I do not brace myself. My shoulders stay relaxed, my jaw stays soft. I notice their presence and I also notice my own heartbeat. Steady and rhythmic, a quiet drum keeping time just for me. They begin to speak, and the sound of their voice does not erase my thoughts. I hear their words, and I also hear the small, quiet voice inside me that says, I am still here. I feel a gentle warmth in my hands, a sensation of my own energy quietly circulating. Their energy does not rush in to fill me. It simply exists next to me. There is space between us, and I can feel that space as a cushion. A gentle buffer of air and light. I do not need to have a strong opinion right now. I can simply listen and feel my own breath moving. A thought arises, a simple thought about what they said, and I notice it. It is my thought and it feels light, not heavy. I do not clutch at it or push it away. It is just there, floating in the space of my mind. I notice a subtle shift in my belly, a slight flutter of unfamiliarity. I breathe into that flutter and it softens. The other person smiles, and I feel a small, natural impulse to smile back. It is not a performance. It is just a response, easy and unforced. I realize I am not tracking their every micro-expression to see if I am safe. My attention is partly with them, and partly with the simple, pleasant sensation of my own aliveness. I feel a sense of curiosity, a gentle interest in what they are saying. Because I am not busy defending myself. My mind is clear not because I am empty, but because there is room for everything. I can hold my own awareness and their presence at the same time. The conversation flows, and I notice moments of silence that feel comfortable, not threatening. In the silence, I feel myself, solid and quiet. Like a tree that does not need to announce its presence. The feeling of being exposed has transformed into a feeling of being open. And there is a difference. Being open feels like a choice. A warm and spacious way to meet the world. I am not a balloon being pushed around. I am a pool of still water, reflecting but not absorbing. The interaction naturally comes to an end. And I feel a quiet sense of completion. I feel myself intact and calm. There is no relief because there was no danger. There is only the gentle satisfaction of having been present. I breathe out, and with that exhale, my body learns something new. This is what it feels like to be with others and still be with myself. This is normal. This is safe. This is just how it is. Allow this felt sense to continue integrating naturally in the body and in life. Take a deep breath, feel the shift, and smile. Let this settle gently. There is nothing you need to do right now. You can return to this whenever you feel called. Be gentle with yourself.